Hi guys, I think it's finally time to show you our interior design. Carla, everybody already knows Carla, our interior designer. Please introduce the rest of the team, well, part of your team that's working on our boat.
Josie is helping us, is an interior architect actually, and she's helping us with the Rhino and all the process of the creation in Rhino. Then Mari is architect as well, and then help with the 2D drawings, details and everything. And then we have the two guys that is doing 3D Max.
Yeah, so everyone pretty much has been involved in our project in some way or another, right? Like
Yes.
doing different portion, everyone just sort of split it into pieces. So you guys, this process has been going on for quite a while. Every time we try to film, I feel like we have this task that we want to do, and then we get in like deep detail, and it's like 3 hours later, and I just don't know. I feel like it's unimportant things because there's so many little things. And every time we have cameras, it's just really hard to focus. So we've made a collective decision and just decided, you know what, this is really important to get this right, to have this design right. We just focused on trying to get this done, on trying to get the design to where we want it to be, and we will show you guys, we will walk through all of this and show you what it turned out to be and explain some of the things, how it came about and some of the changes, right? But just so you guys know, a lot of work went into this.
So in short form,
Yeah.
you guys missed out on all the drama and fights, and you just see the finished product, kind of, right?
Exactly.
Well, there wasn't
Yeah.
that many fights, was it? Maybe a little bit. Just
I don't know.
not
We
with
should
Carla,
we should
but
we should
with
ask
us.
we should ask the team here.
We did have some drama, just a little bit. Well, we can give away some of that. I'm not shy of showing drama.
But I think everybody is probably pretty excited to actually see what the result is. So let's come on.
Yeah, okay, so we'll do it deck by deck. A lot of you guys said like, well, it's 2023, don't you have like a 3D and all these like Rhino and all these different things that you should be looking at, not a GA? Of course we did, and it was just easier for us to explain on the GA and then show you guys. So yes, we'll had a 3D experience. We have been working through 3D, and we're gonna show you now what that all looks like. Take it away, Carla, it's all you.
Let's go.
Are we gonna
follow
start?
you.
Are we gonna start on the top or on the bottom?
I
The
don't
main
know, top or
deck.
bottom? Rico?
I think the main, right?
Main level?
Main?
Yeah, when you enter
You
the
walk
boat,
in, it is
you walk
main.
in the main. No,
Yeah, okay.
it's like the real experience.
I agree.
Sounds good.
We'll do a main deck first. So here's our little big lady. You guys excited? Oh wait, we walked in really fast.
Slow down.
So the exterior design is not in this yet, you guys. So don't look at some of that. There's stuff that's coming in. It's the interior we're focusing on. Then let's walk in fast. Go inside. So this is Rhino, huh?
This is
Carla?
Rhino.
Okay, so what kind of programs do you guys use for this? Because it's all sorts of different things, right?
Yeah, Rhino is much more detailed. You know, like for shop drawings, for all the furniture here is complete. You can see the screws, the thickness is very complete. But 3D Max is more photography, and then it's more real. It's more beautiful to see like a picture. But to build the boat is much better that we do in Rhino, because we really see all the mechanism inside of the drawers. Everything is like more detailed, but it's not so nice
Yeah.
It's a little bit more sketchy.
Yeah.
But then we transform to 3D Max and then do the renderings.
Got it. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's our salon. Could we back up a little, so just to be more to the door? Oh yeah, maybe. Oh, I see. Like just through the door, huh?
Do you want me to zoom in?
Or maybe we just turn around and show. So we have this very large sofa that you guys saw us measuring on one of the videos we were trying to sit down together. And these tables will be convertible, so we can make a nice big dining table on the interior. Since we don't have like a dining space, we've made it to the point that it's really truly could be a good dining space, kind of with a lounge setup. So this design went from this Rhino into that rendering. Carla, walk us through this thing here. A lot of work went into this.
Yeah, well, we have here, if you can open this one's a door that you go.
So behind this is another access to the engine room. Is
Actually
basically
see the
Yeah.
outline of the door there.
Yeah.
access to the engine room from the exterior and also from the interior, besides being able to access it
Through the transom.
exactly. So this is actually a hidden door, what we've created.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we had some space in between. We created this one to store some glasses, and yeah, we can use this little space.
And then how would it open to access this door? Does this swing out?
Yeah, you have a mechanism there that open like a door, and then you can open the door.
So this whole section here will
Yes.
swing out like this, and you guys see the door there in the background. That's actually our access to the engine door. So engine room. So you will not use this often at all. You have to have it for a proper Explorer yacht, but so that's why we kind of decided to mask it. Okay, all right, let's
This
go.
one you can open as well, just to show how it goes. It's like a pantry.
So this whole area for us is kind of our bar entertainment setup.
You can pull it out.
We can just show
So
you.
it slides out, yeah.
So it slides out. And this is also going to be our bar, and this section here also belongs. So it's all kind of belongs to our bar. And then in this section here, which was super cool, we put in one of these, what are they called again, Rico?
Which section?
Where we put this little cooler thing. That that's one of the
champagne cooler?
one of the NBBL items that made it on the list. It's basically one of these, is it
Single bottle
single-
champagne cooler.
But why does it have to be champagne? Couldn't it be wine?
Could also just be a bottled cooler.
Yeah, I think so. It's basically like a coal bucket that you put the drink in, and you guys have seen it on the NBBL. So that's there. And some storage underneath here, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's keep going. Oh yeah, so this is the TV lift. So it goes right in there. Look at that. Okay, Rico, tell us about the ceiling, since this was a big thing for you.
It's white. I wanted to break it up somehow and ask Carla if we can incorporate some of first of all, the lights are flush in the ceiling, so they're recessed in. I wanted to have some kind of indirect lighting, or like, I don't know if it's really called indirect lighting or is it called recessed light? No, I'm not sure.
We have the recessed light, but we have the spots as well.
And then you have the inserts, right, of
Yes.
the walnut, which is kind of hard to see here actually, because it just looks like a thin
We
strip,
can turn there.
but it actually is
See it.
three-dimensional, right? Like it goes in.
Oh, you see it perfectly. Look, so it's got
Yeah.
a walnut, and then this is our spotlights.
I think it's gonna look really nice and breaks up the ceiling a little
And
bit.
let's show this section here that you guys.
Yeah, that is
have
really
on the
cool.
side.
That was Carla's idea.
Yeah, this here, that looks really cool.
Just to
So
break.
this has a texture, right? So
And it
actually-
curves.
And curves.
How would you explain that?
Well, yeah, just
Oh, here you can actually see.
There you
it.
can actually see it a little bit.
the idea is when you enter in the boat, you don't see this straight line that reminds like a train or airplane. Instead, you see like some curves going and bring you to, you see this design that goes down here. Here is a curve, slat. It's like something just to give texture, not to be so plain and boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carla doesn't like boring. She
No.
doesn't do boring.
No. This one, it will be the sliding door to go out. Right now we have the structure, but
It's like a placeholder for now.
yes.
Because the shipyard is putting in the
Yeah.
right sliding door.
Yeah.
So it's something that, you know, I never really understood until we got into this whole building process, but it's almost like the interior exterior, it's like a little bit separated, and the exterior is really the shipyard's portion, and they're in charge of all of these, especially like doors, window things that are going in on the exterior, because some of it is class approved and all these different things. So that is something that's their part, and they're putting in, now that the doors have been approved, they're putting that design in. So
Well, in general, just a quick question. Since you also do residential projects, right? Not just boats or yachts, sorry. Would you say like designing a yacht has a lot more moving parts, a lot more things to pay attention to than residential, or is it pretty much the same?
Yes, because it's more like a product. You know, you need to take care more in detail. In a construction, it's okay if you lose like one space with 1 feet, and you can play more. Here, no, every
inch matters.
Yeah, exactly. And then this is different. It's more like a product actually.
And in
than
terms of
architecture.
like making the design a reality, like I think in the residential world it's probably a little bit easier because it's always the same buildings, materials, it's always square, it's always
easier,
this.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
much easier, and then the shapes, it's completely
Yeah.
different. You
Yeah.
know, if you have, you can have a round wall
Here
somewhere,
and there, yeah.
but normally you have squares and.
You don't have rooms that go like this
exactly.
on the interior.
But if you go the
Yeah.
structure and it's small, the boat is worst.
Yeah.
And you are designing, this is cute, and then you discover there is an AC unit in the middle of the somewhere, or
Because
is that
it
tank?
has to go there.
Exactly, or a tank or something, and then you don't have space to play around. You know?
Which is not in residential the case.
Yeah, normally
not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different way to think. No, residential, you think much more in 2D, and elevations in 2D as well. And I think boat is 3D all the time because all the shapes that can make and the curves. You do the 2D and doesn't fit at all.
Yeah.
It's like
Well,
it's
sorry for making you make a small boat. I know you usually do bigger ones. We
And then,
appreciate it. Though.
do you think it's a challenge also that it's actually technically an apartment or a house which is moving, like because it's sitting in water?
Of course, yeah. You need to think about, for example, the drawers, how you latch everything, the materials that cannot have some movement, the salty, and everything is different. It's much more.
So it seems like it's a lot more comprehensive actually than residential.
Actually, this
Complicated.
one, yeah, it's
More complicated. Yeah.
Yeah.
More things to think of.
Yeah, but this one, because I think it's in steel, the lower deck, it was not so hard because, for example, the cabins, you have a good space, you have the tanks under the floor, because there are other boats that you really need to use like the bed for a tank, or the walls needs to have the space, and then always create more. And bigger you go, more like a house it is.
Yeah. Makes sense. You have more space.
But like now we discover a hatch in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not
And
happy.
yeah.
You're not happy with it.
What do we do
Yeah.
with that?
We have an escape hatch.
Exactly. In the middle.
In the middle, but it's an escape hatch of one of the cabins, which is you don't have in a house. You will never deal with an escape hatch. You will
No.
have a window, maybe, but not an escape hatch
Yeah.
that
Very
you
true.
have to hide. Yeah. So, well, we'll
All right.
talk about this in a moment. All right.
Let's move forward.
So anyway, so there is a big sliding door here, you guys, that's coming in here. I would like to spend a moment and talk about the staircase, because that was a big sticking point. Like, I feel like we spent a lot of time on that. Carla wasn't happy with the design of it, and we weren't happy with it went back and forth. I don't know how many times we went back and forth, Rico.
But it's funny because in boats, stairs and ceilings are always a big challenge. It's not easy, It's like, I know in houses you do the structure, you can, here you need to fix somewhere, and then the height is not so good for the height, the steps that you normally need for each one.
Because when you plan a house,
Yeah.
you plan it this way, and
Yeah.
also you don't have ever the situation that this staircase in the house will be moving. That
Exactly.
is a possibility of some kind of movement, so it has to be extra safe. You have to be
Yeah.
able to grab on, you have to be able to hold on. In the house, it's, you know, right?
Exactly.
You,
All right.
unless you're personally moving. So we can put in some photos to show you guys the evolution. Check this out. And now this is what the final result is, which is we went with the same walnut. So this is walnut. We actually don't think we talked about it. So this wood that you guys are seeing is walnut. It's of course not a true color here, and we will show you in a moment what it looks like. These are wooden sleds, right? I don't know, is it called sleds? I don't know.
It's like
At least wood covered, right?
Yeah.
I think it
Yeah.
might be some
Yeah.
metal underneath or
Metal
so.
with
Yes, it
wood
was,
covering.
right.
And yeah, this design here went from this rhino to that rendering. So this was a big NBBL. This little section here, let's just spend a quick second talking about it. And I thought this is going to be sort of like the easiest thing in the boat, and it actually went through its own evolution. So this is a coffee station that you guys know we've always like sort of dreamed about to be able to have. So there's going to be a coffee machine here. An idea was to put that kind of a water spout there that we're trying to get rid of as much plastic bottles, even glass bottles if we can, cans, on the boat. So NBBL item was having a spout that's going to have still chilled and sparkling water, so guests can just put it in a glass or
Extra
put it,
filtered.
yeah, extra filtered, put it in the water bottle, and we can get rid of the usage of the bottles as much as possible. We had this wine cooler that wasn't here initially, and we just couldn't figure out where to put it.
Well, moved pretty much through the entire boat.
Yeah, probably the only thing that Carla literally said, like,
No.
no, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
It was ugly.
Yeah.
No, I present a beautiful,
Ugly, okay?
a beautiful,
Ugly.
beautiful console.
Yeah.
Nice design.
On
and
the
then-
port side.
And then you come with this poof.
Big box.
Then you come with a wine cooler. What's wrong with that?
A big box. And I just remember Mar texted me, and she's like, yeah, Carla doesn't like this. And it's probably the only time that I really heard Carla like put her foot down, and
Yep.
she was just like, no, this is not gonna happen. So we've, Mar and I really did some soul searching and soul searching of this yacht, and we decided that that's where it's gonna go, which meant that we lost our spout, which was really important. So we found another place for it, and it's going to live on the exterior now in the cockpit, which I think was a good solution. Anyway, the rest is storage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now Carla gets to have her beautiful console. She's going to have this really nice low console that she's very happy with. Okay, this gives us a chance to actually show you guys, and you can appreciate this whole door movement that we had. Remember, we moved the door. Right here is this door that we have coming in from the exterior, right there. That we actually closed the door that was here, and this door is matching the other side. We do have a day head there.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever been in that day head. What does it look like?
Let's go.
And the door of the day head is white, not
It's white.
walnut. Okay.
Yeah, we decide that because when you look from the entrance, you see the slats better. If not, you see
Contrast better.
exactly. The
Yeah,
slats will
I
disappear.
agree. Okay, so we're walking into our day head.
It's a good day, huh?
Oh, it even has a bathtub. Oh no. With the angle of the fisheye, it looks so
this
wide.
day head has a huge window. That's all I
Yes.
remember. It's like very big. So
Yeah.
it's a nice space.
And it's something that we need to discuss about the curtains. We leave some cover here that we can put a roll inside, but I don't know if you want to do like electric or something like that. We need to.
Okay, talk about this.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right.
See, still stuff that needs to be talked about. Anyway, that's our simple day head. It's a pretty good size. And then let's go to the galley.
There is all the accessories. We did like toilet brush, toilet paper holder. Everything is there, like all the.
Perfect. Okay. And here we are in the galley.